The Apollo. Uh, You know what's funny is every now and then when you come back from being away, you kind of forget how things go down. So I'm sitting here getting myself together, and all of a sudden I'm like, holy snikes, it's time to go live. I just completely missed it. Not by much. Typically, I like to go live like 15 seconds before just to give myself, a little bit of room for those who are coming in. But every now and then it's like, it's after, so you should figure it out. So let me do this while I'm getting myself together mentally because I'm still not quite there. Let me just say that Small Biz Bites is available wherever you get your podcasts. So we're on Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and we have a replay on Indie Soup Media, so we can be found there as well. So we're all over the place, but in a good way, in a very good way. So let me do this. Let's play the intro, and then we'll get into it. Good. It's afternoon, man. It's afternoon. It's the last day of September. And I'm like, now granted, Virgo season has already ended, so I'm not going to go there, but I am recognizing it's the last day of September. We're coming into the fourth quarter. You're like, okay. So, yesterday I spent some time getting things together for the fall-ish here in in Texas, and it actually was pretty good. Yesterday we were at 64 degrees, so yeah, I was like, oh, and then it got to like 92, so it still got there, but so let me make sure I remember what I'm supposed to do, because like I said, when you come back with vacation brain, and I think I still have vacation brain, you're not on your tip top, and I feel like I'm not on my tip top or whatever. So hello, welcome to Small Biz Bites. My name is Gwendolyn G.R. Houston Jack. This is streaming live to LinkedIn and to YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, it'd be great if you would like, share, subscribe, leave a couple of comments, tell a friend to tell a friend, things of that nature, because this is what it is, right? Like, this is where we are. So I was thinking to myself, man, I had to pull all the things together. I had to pull together my camera because it wasn't where it's supposed to be, my mic. When I left here a week or so ago, almost 2 weeks ago, I just left it. I left everything here. I was like, I'm done. And proceeded to check out. And had a really good time. And now that I'm back, I'm like, we have some work to do. So what can I tell you? We have a bit of work to do. So let me do a couple of hellos here. We've got Dr. Tachi in the building. Hello. DS is here. And Janet is here as well. Hey, thanks guys for coming in and showing up and doing all the things. Now, I will say this as I get myself together. I can't believe the year is almost over. The year is almost over. And as I was saying, I was getting ready for the fourth quarter. If you guys are business owners or you got kids in school and things of that nature, it's a very good chance you're getting ready for what's coming, because it's that, it's like fall. You have all the festivals and the what you call it, the fundraising events, all the things are happening. But for me, we're getting ready for those fall photo sessions and holiday sessions. And it's already, I was like, man, already? I am happy that we didn't have a very hot summer. I mean, it got kind of warm here, but not like warm, but it did get kind of warm here. But that makes me a little scared, because with mild summers, sometimes the winters get really out of pocket. Now, I'm in North Texas. It does snow in North Texas. I will say that. And we got lucky last year with a mild winter, a little bit of frost here and there, nothing like a few years back where it was really, really bad. So I am crossing the fingers that the weather works out from fall until winter, and then we'll see what happens. But I'm getting ready for our fall sessions. I put out, at least I think I did. I know I scheduled it. I scheduled some things for fall sessions to get stuff together. As DS says, autumn is your favorite. Yeah, I like autumn. I like the uh-oh. I like I like autumn. Wait a minute. Okay, so clearly, hold on. I'm getting messages. I don't have my do not disturb on just yet. I'm getting messages while I'm here. Well, let me see here. Oh, okay. We're working on some things. We're working on some things. Let me make sure. Hold on, people, as I'm multitasking here, getting things together. I enjoy, and I said this before, I enjoy fall, especially in New York, because you get like the beautiful trees and you have these beautiful walkways that are screaming for a fashion show. Okay. So, I mean, I love photography in the fall on the East Coast. Now I can make it work down here. I can. I got to get a little creative. But there is in my park a very specific trail of trees. Oh, I have used it more than enough times, and I am begging myself to get out there and take some sessions, get some things on the books. So we'll see. But I love a good fall photo session because it's just the best. And it was crazy hot this summer. Really, I did see some things about heat getting kind of out of pocket up there. Like I said, we had some 100+ degree weather here and there, but not like we normally have, where it's like just days upon days. It wasn't like that. So I'm thankful. And I know it sounds weird, like what? It's like, trust me, when we don't do like the 120 for 14 or 21 days straight, we've had a great mild summer. So I'm feeling pretty good about the summer here. So I like the warmth, the coziness, the fireplace, the colors of nature, the smells of pumpkin, cinnamon, and apples. Jeez, yes, you got to do it like that, dude. I like that. And I was just saying, I don't have any fall candles. Not a fall candle in sight. I'm kind of upset. Oh, family and food, of course. Of course. Of course. I don't have any fall candles ready for me. And I normally have some really great candles. And what is that guy's name? What is his name? Harry Slatkin. Yeah. God, his candles are amazing. They have the best scents. The best. And I would just absolutely love. I used to get, and I probably should go ahead and order it, but I would get this nice, really big 5-wick candle that smelled. It had like autumnal smells. And then there's one for the holidays that has like evergreen. It's like fir. Oh, you mean the house was smelling delicious? Oh, but I don't know. I've been slacking. I've been slacking this year. I haven't been doing what I'm supposed to do. I've been slacking, and I'm just like, golly, G, you need to get on it. But Harry Slatkin has amazing candles. As a matter of fact, if I could splurge, you know who I would really get? Some Joe Malone 5-wick candles. Now them suckers go for the $3 and $4. That's how big they are. But the fragrance, bar none. I mean, bar none. He said, you love me some aromatherapy. Yes, I'm right there with you. The scents make the space. It makes the space, whether that's for yourself or for your home. When I walk into my home needs to have a very particular smell. I am warm, woodsy, vanilla scents. That's where Gwendolyn vibes. Amber, oud, like all of that. Like that's where I vibe. If I walk into my house and I don't smell it, I got problems. I have problems. My car the same way. My car is the exact same way. Okay, hold on here. Hold on. Don't you love it? Okay, let me see here. We're having some minor visual interactions over here, but we're going to work it out. We're going to work it out. Not going to worry about it. Hey, wait, I'm sorry. I didn't even say that. Hannah's here. Hello. You're driving and listening. Oh, well, make sure you drive safe. But this is just like talk radio, right? Is this like just like talk radio when you do it live like this? Isn't that what it's like? And I don't know about you guys as we're as we're getting my guests together. We were flashbacking a few weeks ago on the birthday, and I remember having a box fan. Now, again, I'm a 1970s baby, and so, you know, when it got really hot and the AC was down, we put the box fan in the window. Okay, just what I'm saying. And I remember talking into the fan as if I was like a radio host. And somewhere in the back of my head, I just knew one day I'd be on the radio. Now, we're not on the radio per se, but we're pretty darn close. Pretty darn close. Hold on here. Okay, I can all right, let's see. I got so much going on, but it's the multitasking. What can I tell you? It's the multitasking. So as we get ready to bring in our guest here, let me just tidy up this conversation that we're having here. So yes, Dr. Tachi, let me tell you, I have to go back and share your videos on fragrance. I have to. When you smell good, you feel good. And I don't mean just like taking a shower and being fresh, because that should be like a no-brainer, but just adding in that extra scent. You know, that like when you come in, people know it's you because of your scent, not in a bad way, because I've known some people who have that. But my house has to have a certain scent. My car, hey, my mama's here. My car has to have a certain scent. And when we talk about environments, we're talking like when things don't smell right and when things are noisy, it's just chaos. It's just noise. So if my car does not smell right, my car typically smells pretty darn good all the time. Because I don't like food and stuff in my car. I keep my car sprayed down for a reason, then I'm good. But when things are not great, I get agitated. I'm just saying. Or Darth Vader. And yes, DS agrees with me. Okay, so now our partner, Anthony, had to leave and come back because he's having some visual difficulties, and it's okay. Like this is what we deal with, right? I mean, we see it on if you catch a news clip here and there. But we see it on the news where sometimes like the technology just doesn't want to be teching. So that's where we are. But Black Eighth Element is here as well. Hello, sir. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. But, you know, just having organization in your area makes the biggest difference, like across the board. And you know what? Just because he's here. There we go. Oh, I see smiling faces. I see them. Before I go, I want to shout out my fellow brother. And he really is he's naturally my brother, but you know what I'm saying. So Black Eighth Element just celebrated 25 years at his job. And I just want to say, we don't hear about people staying at a particular place of business that long anymore. We are a dying breed, okay? 25 years. So kudos to you, sir. Congrats. That's a milestone. And I'm gonna also throw it in. 25 years and he's not even at half of his life yet. So I just want to, y'all thought I had it. He got it too. He got it too. Okay. So just want to shout that out, but we don't see that anymore. So shout out to him. He's like, I'm having fun already. Yes, we're having a good time because we're going to do it. Thank you. My little cat eye here, my little cat eye. Let me stop. Let me stop fooling around. Bring in my partner. Okay. Let me get it together. Let me get it together. We are bringing in Anthony Roland of Anthony Roland Photography. He's going to talk about how the frame doesn't fit anymore. Let me tell you this, guys. If you want to connect with Anthony, please go ahead and do so. You can find him on Instagram. We'll share this again. Hey, man, what's going on?
Technology would test your faith, let me tell you.
You know what? It'll have you saying some things. It'll have you saying some things.
Right.
But
it
guess
always
what?
works until you need it.
Right, man, trust. It never fails. It's like that. It was working yesterday.
Right.
I'm thinking about my previous history, and as a training and hiring manager and doing all the things. If I had a presentation, I would test it before, and then go live. And it's like, I was like, no, I just tested this thing 5 minutes ago.
Right.
I know it works, right? So, but we always had like a plan A, B, C, D, E, and sometimes F, because it was like that.
Right.
But let's get into it, Mr. Anthony Roland. I am going to do what's called a Fast Five. Are you ready, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I'm just going to ask you 5 questions. They're not really going to be fast, but what can I tell you? All right, so here it is. Number 1, are you film or digital?
Digital. I started with film though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't have a choice.
So you prefer digital now?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, fully digital now.
Not even a hint of film?
I've been kind of getting that itch to get a film camera.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been thinking about getting a Rolleiflex. My mentor Omar just got one, a medium format. Indeed. It's like having a cinder block around your neck, but the photos are really, really nice.
They are. I couldn't find a Rolleiflex. I really wanted one, but I did find a Rolleicord. And those images are very nice. I mean, it's we're going to come back to that conversation, because something about film, and for me, it was I hit a wall creatively, and I had to find a way to limit myself. Now, I could always go out with like an 8 gig SD card. that'll make you focus on what you're taking a picture of. But when you have 12 frames and those 12 frames have to matter, it'll do that too. All right. Do you like to be in front of the camera or behind the camera?
Behind. I'm a bit of an introvert. But I'm with family right now, so I'm good.
He's like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. They're gonna treat me kind. It's gonna be okay. Yeah, we got you, man. We got you. But I do believe, if I have to say so, I believe a lot of photographers are introverts. Yeah, which is very interesting, right? Mm-hmm. It's like you pick a job that requires you to talk to people, or at least interact with them in some shape or form.
Yeah. I do. I was in Mexico a couple months back, right before the kids went to school, and I took a selfie like by myself, because usually if you see selfies of me, my wife is next to me or my son. But I took a selfie. I was checking something, and I looked at the background. I was like, "Ooh, this is nice." And so I may post it. This is just not something that I usually do.
He's like, "Ooh, this is nice." Okay. He's like, "Nah, I'm looking kind of fly. Let me go ahead and capture this." I have to admit, I don't do a lot of selfies because I'm not crazy about the phone, the camera on the phone, but I will do a self-portrait in a hot second. I mean, just saying. Yeah. All right. Blue Bell or Blue Bunny ice cream?
Blue Bell.
All right. I had to check. I had to make sure you was really Southern. I just Okay, comedy or horror film?
Comedy.
Not for the horror? I mean, if you have,
I'm for it. Don't get me wrong, I am for it.
Yeah.
I just prefer comedy over. I prefer to laugh than the
whole.
I'm not really scared though. I remember it was the 90s. Mm-hmm. And I went to go see Halloween. I don't know which one it was, because they made about 50 of them.
Yeah.
And I fell asleep in the movies.
They don't do it like they used to. Like back in the day, like the movies really had you kind of jumping. Like I remember, I think it's Jeepers Creepers 2. Mm-hmm. Even to this day, it gives me like nightmares. I cannot get down with it. Yeah. Treat on the Corn, we're kind of on the creepy side. Like, it was some creepy stuff. But nowadays, they want to make it gory, but it's so ridiculous. It's like, okay, well, I'm not.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. I'll go with the comedy. Okay. The favorite one.
No.
Go ahead.
The black and white ones were the ones. The original Last House on the Left. And Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, from like the 60s.
Yeah. Now, okay, so although it's a B movie, Attack of the Killer Clowns, isn't that it?
I think so, yeah.
It used to come on USA, at least it did on my cable network. Yeah. It was, it wasn't scary, but then it was kind of like, okay, it's a little on the creepy side.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Pet Sematary had me jacked up. Pet Sematary, The Shining.
Yeah, well,
Christine, Cujo was that one. Because I was like, okay, these Saint Bernards, I cannot get down. Cannot get down with them. Okay. You ready for your last one?
Mm-hmm.
Are we making groceries or going grocery shopping?
We are definitely making groceries.
Now, that's a little internal joke for us because, you know, I think people, you know, I grew with like, we go out and we make groceries.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what you do. And my folks like, how do you make groceries?
Right.
I was like, look, all I know is we making groceries today. Okay. That's what I know. That's the deal there.
That's what I grew up on.
We grew up with making groceries. So let me do this. Anthony, who are you and what is your superpower?
I am a photographer, and my superpower, I have the ability to stop time within a fraction of a second.
Oh, okay, hold on. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm not gonna come on here and act like you just special on my show. I love how you phrase that. Absolutely. That was nice. I was like, oh, okay. Because everyone does like, well, you know, you and I have heard a lot of how we define our job, but that was nice. I got to give it to it. Tell us about Anthony Roland Photography. Would you please, sir?
Well, I'm in the current process of niching down. It's been a while. I have tried many different genres of photography, and for people who are starting out, I definitely recommend that you at least dip your toe into a few things because you don't know what you like. You don't know what it is that is going to speak to you, and you may surprise yourself. Mm-hmm. So I've had this affinity, still do, of motorsport. I became a fan in the 90s for the people who watched back in the day. Speed Vision was on my television more than ESPN. And a while back, I'd say, it's been 6 years. So about 6 years ago, I found out that I can take my camera to the racetrack. And that was it. It was on after that. So shout out to Chris Baylor for that one. But, you know, I spent the next few years after that just, you know, trying to find a race team to work with, trying to, you know, get credentialed, you know, for the year to go back and forth to, you know, Circuit of the Americas in Austin or Texas Motor Speedway out near Fort Worth. And it, you know, it didn't happen. I would buy a ticket, you know, and then bring my gear and shoot that way. But for the longest time, like I did it. And one day I really thought about it and I was like, you know, because I prayed about it a lot, you know, and one day I just kind of gave it some thought. It's just like really looking at the season, especially with Formula One. That was a dream job of mine. You know, winter testing starts in February. In the season, the last race is in early December. Like that's how long the F1 season is. And that's how it is for most international motorsport. Locally, it'll last from, you know, spring into, you know, early fall, late summer, you know, depending on the location of the racetrack and how the schedule is laid out. So I said all that to say I would be out of the house a lot. You know, and I have a little boy, he's 10. So not being around, I really started giving it some thought, and I actually talked to my wife about this a few weeks ago. And as I'm talking to her, like, I'm looking at my wall and a lot of the, race car photos on my wall, and just like, I still love it, but if I can just go to Texas Motor Speedway a few times a year, make it to Austin a few times a year, I think I'll be all right. I think I'll be all right. Doing it as a career, it would be tough. It really would be. So I don't want to say it's a dream deferred, because I still do it. And it's something that I love to the point to where, like, I don't even care if I get paid to do it or not.
Yeah.
I would love to, because these bills will keep coming. But, you have to be able to pivot. You have to be able to move around. You have to be able to compromise, especially with when you have other things in your life that take precedent over, what it is that you want. So I can still satisfy that urge, that need. And I went from chasing objects, motorcycles, various types of race cars that are 200 miles an hour or maybe a little bit more down the back straight, to things that don't move at all. So, large commercial buildings. I shot a house for a realtor. I hope to be working with more in the future. And I did my first architectural shoot earlier this year, and strangely enough, I really liked it.
He's like, I actually like them. I like these windows.
Right, exactly. So, like, I was getting excited about my window pulls, man. I was, I'm in Lightroom and I'm working on those things, and I'm making all the necessary adjustments, and I'm like, ooh, this window, like, I can see directly outside, like, it's clean.
Yeah. If you get it just right, you really are bringing in the emotion. People don't understand just how much goes into photography, but a lot does. Let me do this before we start asking you some questions, because we have questions coming. But DS says that was a mic drop moment. So did Black Eighth Element. And they also mentioned too that, yes, watching 80s horror for the first time was something else. Vintage horror was great. And then Black Eighth Element says they don't make them like they used to, because it's just times have changed. Creativity maybe has made a little bit of an adjustment. That's a possibility. But let me go here, since you're talking about making these shifts and everything. I want to get your opinion on it. I know myself, I have made some shifts, and I'm gonna go ahead and thank Dr. Tachi for helping a sister out when she was like, can I do this? She's like, of course you can. We all need that person in our corner. So here's my question for you, sir. What's one major shift in the photography industry that challenged your approach, and how did you adapt? What are you seeing?
We can go with the present. So AI, people are definitely afraid of artificial intelligence. But if you know what it is, and you know how to harness it and use it as a tool in your processes, you'll be just fine. You'll be just fine. I used it. I had a misfire when I did the shoot at the house. There was a what was it? And a paper towel roll that was a part of it was still in the shot, and I didn't notice it at the time. And I used AI to remove it, and it was like it was never there. Like, it'll bail you out, when you make a mistake. Now, I will say this: don't become attached to it. Don't use it as a crutch either.
Yes.
It's one of those things, you keep it, break glass, an emergency. If you treat it like that, you'll be fine. You want to get as much right in camera as possible, so that you're not spending, all this time in front of the computer, trying to fix a whole lot of mistakes, or approaching it with your shoot, like saying, well, I'm just going to shoot it this way and I'll fix it in post.
I'll fix it in post.
No, it's not. That's not always going to be, because it's not perfect. It may take 2 or 3 tries, but that's just more time at the computer when you can be doing something else, or you can be working on another frame. So things like Evoto, and where they have the one click and all your stuff is edited. Yeah, I mean, that's cool. But, I've learned from Omar, like, you have to learn how to do that stuff the manual way, because one day it's going to have a glitch and you're going to have a deadline, and the glitch is going to be fixed after the deadline. So you have to learn how to do it the old-fashioned way first. And then if you need a quick fix, then AI is the move you want to make.
Let me jump on that fix it in post bandwagon real quick. Let me go ahead and get a piece of that. It does not work. And you have to think, depending on your customer, like if you've got a commercial client, like you said, you have a deadline, you've got to move. So trying to fix all this stuff, and if you just took the time to get as close to ready in camera, you can save yourself so much of a headache and a hassle. It's like, who operates like that? Like, that's just it doesn't make sense. As our fellow doctor says, it's better to do this right in the first place. It is. Like, get it close to right in camera, and then when you come to your office or whatever, it's just enhancing what needs to be enhanced, and that's it. But you try to do a whole thing, it's like, come on, kids, like that's just not going to work. Okay, I love how DS is giving me all the questions. I've got my questions. The world is wanting to hear from you, Anthony. Aren't you excited?
Yes.
So how am I going? Okay, so I'm going to blend in my question with DS's question. I'm going to do his first, and then I'm going to come back to mine, because they're kind of the same. But they're also a little different. So here is this one. How do you balance authenticity and AI in a photo? And think about that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to let you answer that, and then I'm going to do the follow-up, because I'll make mine the follow-up. So how do you balance authenticity and AI in your photo, in your work?
When I use any of the AI tools that are in Lightroom or Photoshop, 9 times out of 10, I'm not adding anything. So, I'm removing something. So maybe I'm doing an outdoor shoot. There's a wad of paper that rolled through the frame. There was going back to the house that I shot. The realtor was there, but they did their best to stay out of the frame. But when you for people who don't know, when you shoot in real estate, you want to shoot bracketed, and usually the last frame is the one that takes the longest time, because you're going to that's your overexposed frame. And there's a ghost of an arm. Was like, maybe she just, I don't know, maybe she just swung it out there and didn't think anything about it, right? And it caught it. And I used AI to just remove the ghost of, her arm that was in the frame. But yeah, so my photos are authentic, for the most part. So I mean, if I use AI, it's usually just to remove something. I'm not adding a sky. I'm not changing the sky. I'm not, changing much of anything. I take more of an editorial type approach to my photography. So whatever's there is there.
I agree with that. You sound like me. And I don't think it's an age thing. Okay.
Right.
I don't think it's an age thing. It may be a creative thing. But like you, I'll use AI to, if I just happen to miss something that was on the floor, I'm like, I didn't see that scratch, right? Or maybe the scratch is part of the chair, but I don't want that in because it's not adding to my image. Then I'm taking that out. I'm not. But we're not adjusting people's arms and eyes, and
no,
the good Lord didn't make any problems, people. Okay, so I'm not touching that. Now, I'll fix your rosacea, I'll get your acne, but that's about it. Let me share. Janet,
I tell people I'll be a dermatologist, but I'm not.
I'll do that. Like if your eyebrows are kind of sparse, I'm a balance that because but yeah. And even then, we still have a conversation with, okay, I'm going to do this because you have really light eyebrows, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes tinkering with an image in post-production changes the image altogether. It's not always a visual shift. I agree with that, Janet. Thank you. Hey, Ron Foster's in the building. Hello, Mr. Foster. And I want to say this. So let me stay on the AI track because I know with Adobe, it will now track when AI is used to make some adjustments, right? It'll now track it. It'll let people know, hey, this is original work, but they did do like this edit here, that kind of thing. Right. So here's my question for you on that track is how do you stay creatively relevant in an industry that's constantly evolving with new tech and platforms?
Thankfully, we're artists. So what we do is going to be subjective. And whether you are constantly, dealing with new tech or you're constantly just being that grumpy old man or that grumpy old lady that refuses to change, I think people are there are going to be people out there that's going to like your work. And there's people that's going to be out there that's going to be indifferent. And people that just don't like it. They don't like your style.
Art is subjective, is it not? Art is very subjective. Because I've seen some work. Okay, full disclosure. Sometimes, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Because Anthony's like, oh, here she go. I've seen this before. and let me just say this really quick little side note. I had only seen Anthony through his image on YouTube and through Ron's interview with you, right? And so we're at the PPA conference in February, and I'm just walking. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. And I'm just walking, and I was like, I think that looks like Anthony. Now this is like a side back shot, okay, not even a face to face. And so I'm like, well, I'm gonna go find out because if it is, it is. If it's not, and I was like, hey, aren't you Anthony? So
right.
He's heard some stuff. So here's where I'm going with this. When people like your work or don't like your work, I believe my work is. So I think it's pretty good. I have my look. But when I see people come to me after they have paid somebody. And I'm looking at this like, wait, they're getting customers? What? Like, I'm sorry. What? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I feel some kind of way. I do. But then I think, had you just paid for somebody like me the first time, you probably wouldn't be doing this again because that's not today's topic. Let me stay focused. Okay, let me go. Let me go to where I'm supposed to go because I'm gonna stay on task. Here we are. Here it is. Because I want to talk about this shift because I believe no matter where you are, be it business, it could be school, it could be your personal life, there is always a place for shifting because change is inevitable. It happens to every single one of us. So here's my question to you. And I do have questions from DS. I'm going to come to those. But when faced with uncertainty or change, what mindset or mantra helps you stay grounded and move forward?
My community, just I have this community, and I have a band of brothers, from my church, and we talk. We have a call every week. So it's like, books that we're reading. Like right now we're reading, what is it? Atomic Habits. We just started that one, this past Sunday. Before that, it was 15, I think 15 Rules of Growth or something like that. I had the book over there. I couldn't see there's something on top of it, but and just you reading books like that, and I believe it or not, I read 50 Cent's last book. I think it was Hustle Smarter, Not Harder, or something like that. And he talks about, like, when things kind of trip you up, people who are, who get worried about stuff like that, they have these setbacks, and they stop moving forward. And that's something that you just can't do. You have to keep moving. And we're in a multifaceted industry, so there's other things that you can do. So you just kind of have to explore some things, keep your eyes and your ears open. And if there's things that you're doing that's not working, then you need to change some stuff. And that's kind of like where I am right now. I had a heavily cluttered office at one point. It's still cluttered. I'm still getting rid of stuff. Shout out to Chris. He said one day on Ron's show one morning, he said, and shout out to Omar as well, for this. He's like, don't wait until you do an event or you have this polished image, because Omar's always on me about posting my work on Instagram. It's like, you have great photos, but you don't post enough, so people don't know that you're around. And I've changed that, and it's been gradual, because he'll get on me about it, and then I'll do it, and then I'll kind of slip back, and then I'll do it again, and I'll slip back, and I'll do it again. But between Omar and also my wife, and then Chris said something. He was just like, I'm not worried about, just, pulling up these polished images. I mean, you want to have them, of course, right? Because we're proud of our work. But sometimes, it's just about getting your stuff out there. And that's kind of like what I've been doing. I mean, like, I've been posting a lot more, and it feels really good. Like, like I think the other day, I'm sitting here and I'm editing photos, and I have my D850 and my Z8 sitting on a desk, and just at the angles that they were, I think I posted something on Instagram about they're just sitting there. These two workhorses are just sitting there like your cool uncle talking to your nephew, because the way they were kind of intersecting with each other. And I took out my phone and I took the shot, and then I just posted it, and that's pretty much it. The other thing that I do when I have stuff on my mind is I have my journal right here on my desk, and it's my way of spending time with God, and when things are coming up, or and I'm dealing with some things, or I have something on my mind, or my friends might be going through something, I pull out the journal. It's right there, and I'm usually sitting here. So because it's there and it's in, it's arm's reach, and there's no excuse not to, so you got to have that, that spiritual relationship, I don't know. I know it's not going to work for everybody, but that's what works for me.
I am right there with you. I understand. I understand that completely. As DS says, they still have those notebooks. Yes, they still have those notebooks. You ain't got to say it like that.
Right.
But I want to let me continue with that, because this was, believe it or not, is my second question. It is, what is the role of community or mentorship? How is that playing in you and helping you evolve as a photographer? But you've already answered that. You have this brotherhood, if you will, collection of people that you trust who are looking to lift you up and move forward. And then you also mentioned Omar and Chris Baylor, who have also been very instrumental in mentoring you and pushing you forward. Which, a little side note to myself, I could have sworn Monday, that was yesterday, people, I just said, might want to check the circle of people that you have around you. Because if they're not moving, if they're not growing, yeah. Now, did you pick them, or they, I mean, they clearly didn't seek you out, but maybe they did. Maybe you were in a class or something. They were like, hey, you got a great eye. How did that relationship start?
With Omar from church. He was a lead photographer at church.
Okay.
And, we would see each other and then just kind of chat. And then, eventually, we just became friends, and then one day he posted online that he was getting interviewed, and he was getting interviewed by Ron. So then I tuned in, and come to find out Ron has a podcast in the morning. So it was this chain, right? And, so then from that, I met you, and I met, I met the other Chris, Dr. Tachi. So that's just how, to me, that's just how God works. And, he's going to put people in place that need to be there. And these are people that will, like you said, they will lift you up, and they will punch you in the gut when you need it, and so with mentorship, with Omar, with Willie, and a couple other people, like I would send my work to them, and it's like it's almost like, even though it's a digital image, it's like shooting film all over again, because you have to wait to see what the results are. And when they come back and they say that you nailed it, it's a huge uplifting moment. But then when they say you could have done this, you should have done that, like I'm bummed out for about 2-3 days.
2 or 3 days? Dude.
Yeah. I mean, we're already like our worst critic as it is. So you may want to and I have that. I'm really bad with that.
We may have to talk.
I really, I'll get in my head. I really will. I will get in my head. Like I did something for a friend, and the client didn't really like it.
Oh.
And I felt really bad because I was shooting for him. He couldn't make it, so I was shooting in his place.
Oh.
And it was something that I hadn't really done before. Well, I've done it, but just not in those conditions. And it was some graduation photos, and framed them up. Everything else was cool, but I used a speed light, and it was a humid day, and I didn't think about it, right? So with the light bouncing off, and you have any perspiration going on, oil, whatever, you get that shine, whether it's man or woman, doesn't matter. It's just not a good look. And I didn't take that into consideration. And I shot with a speed light, and then I had a mag mod attachment on it. Let me see. I think I had, right here. I use this. So this thing is amazing when you use it right. I didn't use it right that day. And so he ended up, having to reshoot it. And I felt terrible, because I'm the type of person, I don't want to let anybody down. I don't want to let you down. I mean, I felt bad because, they didn't like the shoot, but I felt really, really bad because I let my friend down. So I mean, he was cool about it, but, yeah.
Yeah, you and I will have to talk about this perhaps after. Well, I mean, because here's the deal. I mean, this is why I say, and I don't believe that it's I can see the point where you can feel personally bad that this person's client, your friend's client, was not happy. But at the exact same time, I believe that the only way I am going to suggest another photographer to a person I would service is because I trust in their work.
Right.
So when they said, "Hey, I have Anthony, he's going to take care of you," that was not, he's available. That was, I trust Anthony to deliver on service and quality. Now the customer could still be upset. That's a whole separate something. Right? Because it could be, "Oh my God, I was sweaty," or "Oh my God, I had acne showing." It's like, okay, we can fix that. Like we can fix a good chunk of that.
Right.
Right. Or it could be, "Oh, I didn't like my shirt," or "I was bloated and now I look fat." Okay, well, those are, but it wasn't that, this person selected you to take over for them just because you're available. It was like, they obviously trust you. The people that I recommend when I have to turn down a job, I trust their work. I've seen their work. So I know that they have a certain level of customer service and care, professionalism, all the things. Otherwise, I would not attach my name to them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But in regards to feedback, the only way to get better is to have people you trust, not somebody who not doing some things, give you feedback and give you really specific feedback, not critique, because critique is subjective, but really good feedback as to like what could be better, But if you're the person who likes to learn, then you're looking for okay, let me go out and try this. Holy shnikes, let's keep moving. Okay, so I got these comments. As Speedways says, that notebook taught a generation. That 12 by 12 is 144. Thank you. Everybody's like, Janet says, those notebooks can still be found in 99-cent store. Oh my God. And Ron did show you some love. Janice says, I understand that headspace. So she gets it. We got to talk about this. We got to talk about this. I'm about the 3-day pity party max. Really? So is it, okay, well, maybe because I'm an educator. That could be the difference. That I think it's a here's the feedback. Let's get it and let's go do the next thing. I don't stay there. This is okay. Clearly, I'm just like, this is so fascinating. If you're always hard on yourself, it means you have high standards, which isn't a bad thing, but it can start working against you if you never give yourself room to breathe. Okay, DSC, that's what I'm talking about. Because there's a place for it, and then it's kind of like, progress over perfection feels lighter and keeps you moving forward. Woo! We got all the things. So let me do this, Anthony, because I do have another question, and I have a question from DS. I'm going to take a slight pivot since we're talking about pivoting and growing and all those things. I want to talk about your art. So I just went on your Instagram, you know what I'm saying? I went on your Instagram and recorded some things. Maybe I should let you talk through it, but I went to your Instagram first, and then I visited your website, and then your Pixie Set site. It's like, okay, it's all right. It's all right. So this is just a look at some of your work, and I didn't stop on any one particular image, but if you would just tell people about what you offer.
Like right now, I said I was really just trying to really get down to, maybe one or two things to specialize in. But right now, I'm really enjoying doing real estate photography, and motorsports is always going to have my heart, sports in general, but I like events too. The reason why I like events is because you see people as their authentic self. So when you're that fly on the wall and you're capturing images, at these events, you're catching people, having, maybe an intense conversation or a lighthearted moment where they're laughing, they're smiling, they're hugs, handshakes, all those things. And I like picking people off like that. I mean, like, that's just my thing, just being a sniper in the room with, with the lens. And I really do. I really enjoy it. Especially like when I'm at church, because I photograph services and conferences when I'm at church, and people give me a hard time lovingly, but they give me a hard time about my choice of lens that I use. Yes. Usually. Sanctuary is pretty big. And when I first started with the ministry that I'm on, the photography ministry that I'm on, people were complaining that we were, quote unquote, getting in their way, even though we have 2 huge screens at the top and in front of the sanctuary. And more often than not, people are looking at those screens and not looking at the stage with a pastor or whoever's speaking or singing in that moment, right? So I already had a lens that I would use when I shot motorsport, because you need it. You need the length. So now I go to church and nobody is safe.
So I got the long lens.
200 to 500 millimeter Nikon, and people will see me like at the grocery store, or they'll see me, oh, you the guy with the big lens. Yeah, like I don't even have a name. I'm Mason's dad, and I'm the guy with the big lens. So, but yeah, so I'm even in church. Like if I see you, you praising God, because these are all things that go up on Instagram to help, bring people to church, and it works.
Well, Janet says, wow, about your photos. So did Food Plane. He said, I noticed a lot of minimalist work there. He says, great stuff. He has another question about what's your process for capturing the story in a single image. He also laughed at that camera mentioned. And then also too reminds me of Ron recently at the golf course. The longest lens is the best because people can't tell. Right. And for those who actually enjoy being photographed, they would be like, oh wait, I think she's getting me. So they will throw themselves there. So let me do this because we have just a couple more minutes here. And I'm trying to figure out which one of these, I'm going to go with this one because I have these questions from DS. I'm sorry, DS. I'm sorry. Let me go with this one. What advice would you give beginners who feel overwhelmed by all the gear options?
Stop.
Right.
Go what works for you. Yes. It's something that's going to fit your budget. I get on people like this all the time when I'm at church and they see what I have, right? Mm-hmm. But I started off with a D3200 in this same building and I worked my way up. So go what works for you, because they have people that have really, really nice cameras and their pictures are not that good. They can be, but some people have more money than talent. So get what you can afford, what feels good in your hands, master that, squeeze everything you can out of it, and then move up.
Ooh, you know what? I agree with DS. Well said, because I knew some people that I went to school with for photography, bought the latest, greatest, and even to this day cannot operate the camera, let alone tell you what they're doing, and they don't take great photos. Yes, I said it. I said that. It's not about the gear. The same way that a typewriter doesn't write a book, okay? And that your bundt pan doesn't make a bundt cake, okay? No. Take some talent, people. Talent and practice. You gotta practice. Yes, it's really about building skill. Yes.
You can grab anything, a box, an aerosol can, a soda can, deodorant, whatever, because you just want to get familiar with the camera.
Yes. And you can use your cell phone. Like you can practice the depth of field and all the things with your cell phone and then figure out where you want to go from there. But a lot of folks, in my opinion, don't practice enough. Like there's a reason why I got so many self-portraits. I'm trying out some things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And sometimes my husband's like, I don't want to take another picture. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, well, looks like it's going to be Gwendolyn because I'm going to get in there and get something.
Right.
That's just how it works. But you got to practice and put it out there.
And you should be able to. I mean, you're shooting on SD cards. You don't have to buy film anymore.
No.
You don't like it? Erase it.
Yeah.
Shoot it again.
Shoot it again. Anthony, okay, before we let you go, sir, I want to say this. You guys can connect with Anthony on Instagram. He is AR_photography_16 or 16. And then you can get to his website and his Pixie Set site as well to purchase some of his artwork. You can do that. Anthony, any last words for our viewers watching now or in the replay?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me, and thank you for being flexible with me. We changed the time, and then with the technical difficulties that we worked it out. But for anybody that's out there that wants to get into photography, get a mentor, find workshops, and practice. JP Morgan, a photographer that I follow, he always signs off with, keep those cameras rolling and keep on clicking. And that's just what it's about. You don't want to wait until you get the gig and then pull the camera out.
Right. This is why when people you have to have your own creative projects. You know what? We may have to do a part 2, right? And maybe we'll hijack Ron's show and do a Tip Tuesday about practicing and creative projects and practice skills. I don't know. I'm gonna throw it out to the universe because he may not hear me, but I'm gonna throw it out to the universe, Ron Foster. Then we may need to take his Tip Tuesday and talk about practicing. Jessica, this was great. Thanks for sharing your vulnerability and your insights. DS is laughing at us. Everybody, thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody,
for tuning in. I don't want Anthony to leave just yet, but here's. Oh, wait a minute. Ron says, "I hear you." Do you hear us, Ron Foster?
Right.
This was magnificent. Here it is. You can connect with Anthony again on AR_photography_16 on Instagram. I want to thank you all for joining me today. It has been lovely. We need to bring Anthony back to talk about some things, but I want to wish you all a great day. Be safe out there, and I will see you next time. God willing. Thank you for watching another episode of Small Biz Bites with Gwendolyn R. Houston Jack, where we chat with other creatives and small business owners about their journey. And we also invite you to like, share, and subscribe to the GR Houston Jack YouTube channel, where you can get the latest and greatest.